Hello, my name's Paul and I'm one of the teachers at SET English. Okay, what I'd like to tell you about today is something that people often get wrong in their OET writing, and that is the difference between these two words, which are quite difficult to pronounce. So I'll pronounce them now: exacerbate and deteriorate. Okay, exacerbate and deteriorate. Now there is quite a tricky problem with these two words. They don't behave the same way in terms of English grammar. So I'm going to show you how to use them and show you why we use them that way. And also I'll go through a common type of error that happens with them. Okay, so let's have a little think about it. When we talk about exacerbate and deteriorate, what we're really talking about is the fact that things get worse. So conditions get worse. So let's think of some of those conditions that can get worse. You've got asthma, eczema, infections. These are all examples of things that can worsen. Okay, now we can use these two words to show that things get worse. Okay, so conditions, illnesses, issues, problems, they can get worse. Exacerbate and deteriorate are really helpful for that. Okay, so let's look at exacerbate first. They're not always the same. They are a little bit different. We'll start with exacerbate. Have a look at this sentence. Mr. Smith exacerbated his asthma by smoking. So I think we all understand that. We know that his smoking made his asthma worse. So his asthma, that's the condition, that got worse. The reason why was the smoking that did it. Okay, so in this case, what we've got that verb exacerbate, and we've got his asthma afterwards. Now it's really important that we identify what his asthma is. Okay, his asthma is, I wonder if you know, it's an object. Okay, so let's just break that down a little bit. We have different types of verbs in English, lots of different types, but one way to look at a verb is whether it's transitive or intransitive. And a transitive verb is a verb which affects an object. So you eat a sandwich, you kick a football, okay, you take medicine. Okay, so in this case, we look at exacerbate again. It's a transitive verb. That means it affects objects. So let's look at an example. Mr. Smith exacerbated his eczema by scratching. So Mr. Smith is the subject, the verb is exacerbate, and he exacerbated his eczema. We can also use it in the passive. Okay, Mr. Smith's allergies were exacerbated. All right, so Mr. Smith's allergies in this case is the object of the sentence. So every time that we use exacerbate, we follow it with the thing that is being exacerbated. You can exacerbate your asthma, you can exacerbate an infection, you can exacerbate your eczema. Okay, so let's look at deteriorate, and here is the difference. Okay, the difference is that deteriorate is an intransitive verb. Okay, that means it does not affect objects, it does not affect nouns. So, Mr. Smith's infection deteriorated overnight. Well, just look at that. Okay, we've got deteriorated. We don't have deteriorated something. Okay, we don't say that his infection was deteriorated. We say that his infection deteriorated. That's like saying his infection got worse. So we don't deteriorate things. That's not what we do. There's no object after the word deteriorate. There's no noun after it. Okay? So, a common error would be this: smoking deteriorated Mr. Smith's asthma. But unfortunately, you cannot do that. You cannot deteriorate something. You cannot deteriorate asthma. You can exacerbate asthma, but you can't deteriorate it. Okay, another example. Mr. Smith's asthma was deteriorated by smoking. Here, what we've got is the passive. You can't say that it was deteriorated. You can say it was exacerbated, but you can't say that it was deteriorated. So we've got exacerbate, which affects objects. And we've got deteriorate, which does not affect objects. And that's the difference between those two words. Okay? So, if you want to find out more like this, then come and find us at SET English. We do lessons like this all the time. In the meantime, see you soon. Bye-bye.